All right, finally we are here after getting my car fixed. It went from getting fixed as far as the body work done. Now I'm back here at Elite Finish so that they can rewrap the rear end as well as ceramic coat it. But the one thing I did want to talk to Kevin about is there's a lot of conversation between PPF and vinyl. People think they're the same thing. Like when you talk about like wrapping a car, a lot of people assume that because it's wrapped that it's like a PPF wrap. But there's actually a big difference between a standard vinyl wrap and a PPF protection, a paint protection film. I'm gonna have Kevin from Elite talk to you about the differences between the two.
Well, Aldrin, welcome back. Your car is finally ready for you, and it is here. But you and I were talking, and you're like, hey, can I film this real quick and just kind of go through some different questions that I've had brought up. And one of them was, what's the difference between paint protection film and vinyl wrap got brought up? And so let's start with paint protection film and what you have on your car. And what a lot of people know so paint protection film is a clear film. This is a gloss film, and it's been around for a while. It was originally used in the like military and stuff for the leading edge of helicopter blades, and just meant to protect a surface, right? So in this case, for automotive purposes, if you ever saw, in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a lot of those leather bras on the front of a car. You saw that like black leather bra to stop chips and stuff. People would put them on road trips. Most people just leave them on all the time. And so paint protection film is known and is like a general nomenclature as clear bra. And the reason for that is it's a leather bra, but just clear. And so it's evolved a lot throughout the years. Initially, it was kind of dull and a little foggy, but it was less noticeable than a leather bra, obviously. But now it's evolved so much that, you see on your car, it's just, clarity's amazing. It's got self-healing, but the biggest thing with the paint protection film is it's like puncture resistant. So if I really push on it, it's got a lot. But also you'll find that it's got a lot more thickness to it than say a vinyl wrap. So if you look at this, like just pulling this apart, it's got a lot more thickness to it. It's a lot more durable. But for the longest time, there was kind of no freedom with paint protection film. The car will look how it looks, but it's just gonna be protected. And then from there came along things like a styling film. And its original design was actually for like matte or frozen finishes. I think it was probably mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s, like BMW came out with these frozen finishes. And if you put a clear glossy paint protection film on top, it would change the whole surface to be just glossy. So then came along matte paint protection film. So it's same kind of thing, but it just doesn't have that sheen to it. So it actually has more of a dry effect. And different materials have a different level of gloss or fully like dry and matte. This is kind of a middle in terms of a satin. But this is something that was originally designed for the matte paint, but quickly discovered that if you had a glossy paint car, you could then put this on top and you get that frozen finish, which is cool. Also, huge amount of puncture resistance, just general nice cushion on the vehicle, so little rocks and debris, not a problem. So if you wanted to change the color of your car, you would do a vinyl wrap. And the cool thing about vinyl wrap is it's got a huge amount of freedom to it. If you want to do these like printed camo, textured stuff, and like crazy, crazy materials, you can. It's got, this kind of textured stuff. You can print on top of it. You can do these brushed materials. It's got a huge amount of freedom. It's not nearly as long lasting. Like paint protection film has a 10-year warranty and it's got a huge amount of protection to it. But vinyl has a huge amount of freedom to it. It doesn't have the same protection and it's not gonna last nearly as long. But if you wanna change your car pink, that is your option, is vinyl wrap. And it's gotten a little confusing recently for a lot of people and asked me questions, and this is why I got brought up with you, Aldrin, is, well, I wanna have my car a different color, but I also want it to be protected. And so here is an example of two materials. So this is vinyl wrap and this is paint protection film. And this is where it gets confusing. There's now colored paint protection film. There's patterned paint protection film where I can show you some stuff now. There's not as many options as vinyl wrap. Vinyl wrap's been around for a lot longer in terms of a colored form. And if you think of a color or a pattern, or Aldrin, you want to have your face all over your car and have that printed, we can do it. There's a huge amount of freedom. But if you look at vinyl wrap, it's a lot thinner. And then if you look at this, so take a look under the light. So with the paint protection film versus the vinyl, there's quite a bit more texture and kind of like orange peel on a vinyl wrap. Now that's getting better throughout the last couple of years. There's some different materials that are getting better in terms of clarity and making it look more like paint. However, it is still something that, it doesn't have the same depth and shine as paint or paint protection film. But with vinyl, I mean, it's one of those things that it does have some puncture resistance, but not a whole lot. It rips pretty easily. It's a lot thinner because its main purpose is not to protect the car. Its main purpose is to change the color. Now with colored paint protection film, this is where you kind of get the best of both worlds. It is more expensive. The material is more expensive. However, this also carries a 10-year warranty like clear paint protection film does. It also has that puncture resistance. It's got a lot more durability and it's a lot thicker because it is just paint protection film, but instead of clear, it's got a color to it. If you look through here, there's like Nardo gray paint protection film. There's that Miami blue that I just showed you. There's a satin black, like if you had a black car and you put a satin film over it. But if your car is white, you can do this with a satin black and change the whole color. There's carbon fiber patterns now. There's purple. We've done a couple Model Ys in this purple, which is pretty neat. You're starting to get these camo patterns and stuff. This like color shift, these forged carbon fibers. One thing I forgot to cover is also the combining of the two in the fact of having a car. Let's say there's not a colored paint protection film that is the color that you want, but you want to have the protection of a PPF. So you can go with, let's say, I don't know, this crazy yellow or something is not made in a paint protection film. We can wrap the car in a vinyl in this color, and then we can do PPF on top of that. Now we can do PPF in just the high risk impact areas, like maybe the front end and like rockers and stuff where you get chips, or we can do the whole thing and seal that all in and protect it and have all the benefits of PPF and get this crazy custom color that doesn't exist in the PPF world yet. So there is that option as well. We're doing more of that, but especially as paint protection film is getting more and more colors every year, every few months, we're getting less, hey, vinyl and then PPF, and more you have it from the factory, from a manufacturer, kind of as one unit. You get the color and the protection as well. So that's another thing that is an option if you don't find a paint protection film color that exists. We have options for crazy stuff, and then we can protect it.
My car is back. Just pulled it out right now. Huge thanks to Kevin again from Elite Finish, and thanks for explaining the difference between the PPF and the vinyl. Hopefully you guys got some value from this video, and if you did, make sure you guys do subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, I'll be back with a bunch of videos now that the ride is here. See you guys in the next one. Take care.